Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Mel Bratton, and I'm kicking it with my boy Buck, chopping it up with Buck.
Welcome to Chopping It Up with Buck. I got my guy Melvin Bratton on. I've known Mel a long time. We have gone way back to Miami days, UCLA, but I had to get you on this week, man. The draft is coming up. Before we even talk about all that, how have you been doing? Good to see you, my brother.
Man, I'm hanging in there, man. Just being a father, a great husband, and all that good stuff, man. I've been working out. I've been doing 2 days, but you're gonna laugh. I'm bringing sexy back, bro. I'm bringing sexy back.
Well, I haven't been doing 2 days, but I'm doing that right with you. I'm coming along. Well, so
Yeah,
I mean, we got to take it back to high school, man. You and Alonzo Highsmith. He was at Christopher Columbus, I think. You were at Northwestern, right?
right.
And then you guys get to Miami. He's 30, you're five. It's no better representation of the 305. Some of the things that we see with Miami, everybody talks about some of these new age guys, but y'all were there in the very beginning. Tell us a little bit about that, and what you saw, what transpired to make you go to Miami.
Well, Lonzo was the number one rated player in the state of Florida. I was ranked number three, which I still got a problem with that. Um, um, But he and I, we met in high school at the flea market, and we was buying the cheap gold chains and roll gold on the roll type deal. So I knew who he was, he knew I was, so we exchanged numbers, and it was like our junior year going our senior year. So we always stayed in contact, friends. On weekends, he'll come up and stay, up with me, and I'd go down south where he was, and stay with him. So we became very, very close. So on our recruiting I visit Michigan, Pitt, Ohio State, Texas A&M, send a private plane to pick me up, and then
Yeah.
and also Ohio State. So Alonzo had Ohio State, Michigan as well, and I forgot Pitt. So he had probably close to the same school. So one night it was like late, late, late. Like I remember it was like almost midnight in the school night. He and I was talking, and he said, "Man, it was getting close to signing day." He said, "What you thinking?" And I said, I don't know. I said, what you thinking? I don't know. And then finally, I said, you know what, I'm sick of all these other places with this tradition. I go to Ohio State. They said, as long as you don't go to Michigan, you good. I go to Michigan, as long as you go to Ohio State, whatever. And so all the rivalries, Pitt and Texas A&M with Texas. And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to USC the last visit, but I was tired of flying. I didn't want to go to Cali. And all our trips were botched in 1 month, so I said, no, I don't feel like going. I canceled. I just want to go see Cali. So we let off, and I said, you know what? Let's stay home, man, and build this dynasty in Miami. Let's just win championships and turn this whole program around. And we young, 18 years old. I spoke it to existence. Me and him, we didn't know, saying like that, honestly, but that was our mindset. So he said, man, I was thinking the same thing. I said, for real? He said, yeah. So I said, look, let's call Coach Alexander, rest in peace. And Coach Axe, I said, look, me and Ha, you got us, give us the list. We're finna go recruit for you
Mm.
and help build a squad. So we went and got Jerome Brown. We got Brian Blaze. I mean, we
Wow.
started we started calling guys and look, come be part of this. We get ready to change this whole culture of Miami football. And it was 13 of us that signed as a freshman. And when I knew that we had a bond, when freshmen come in early, we had 3 days with Howard Snellenberger, but we never broke. So I remember there's a movie theater across the street from the school. All 13 of us walked. You know what I'm saying? We had cars.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
walked together. Yeah, we walked together. It was black, white, whatever, and we didn't see color. We almost got into a fight in the theater. And when I saw everybody came together, the white players, the black player, all of us came together. And right then, it's a special bond right there that saying you can't see like, dang man, these dudes got my back. And so from that point on, the domino effect started rolling.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I mean, we talk a lot about that. Reggie Moore and I kind of did the same thing at UCLA, leaving Texas to go out there. But what's interesting is if you look now, we talk about NIL. What kind of NIL deals would you, Highsmith, Michael Irvin, Vinny Testaverde? I mean, what kind of NIL deal would you guys have now?
Bro, listen. back then, Miami Vice was hot. You had the cocaine cowboys. You had listen, listen, you talk about NIL. We were already spoiled. We never paid for anything. We pull up McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. We go to restaurants. People will pick our tabs up. So we were already spoiled. There's no club that we went to. We used to get the Dolphins in. I don't know if you saw the 30 for 30.
I
That's a
saw
true
that. Yeah.
story. Yeah, with Mark Clayton Duper and Ron Davenport, Lorenzo Hampton, they used to be standing in line. We pull up at Strawberries, we're looking at them like, man, y'all, come on, man, y'all with us. And these are millionaires, you know what I'm saying? So our culture of Miami, NIL, you know, man, listen, we'd have broke the bank. We'd have broke the bank.
Hey, so one other thing too, I forgot in that DC of the BC game against Doug Flutie, you had 4 touchdowns, including the 52-yarder to put you guys ahead at that time. Tell me what you remember about that game when Doug Flutie threw the Hail Mary and all the rest of that stuff.
Well, I know he ruined my weekend because I was been the hottest thing in the city as a true freshman to do. But what happened was when all the cameras had ran to me after I scored that last touchdown,
Yeah,
and they were like, you got it, you got it. We don't know saw all the cameras. But I told them, I said, no. I said, no, let's not do that. I said, let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wait. All the media was trying to get my attention and they want to interview me. So I said, no. I said, just hold on, just wait. I said, because let me watch this. But see, people don't realize Flutie threw a Hail Mary against Alabama, somebody the week before, to like a week or two before.
okay.
And so I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like that. So I saw what he can do. So I wasn't too excited about trying to jump on, you know what I'm saying, and take the claim and start talking that we won. So I stood on that bench and watched that drive and Jerome Brown, you know, saying, chase him out of that pocket. And he launched that rocket. And then my college roommate, Bain, was back there. And
Yeah,
Bain gets the blame, but it wasn't. Reggie Sutton had an interception, but Darrell Fullerton ran into him and knocked that one arm down, and the
that's
ball hit right there where it was, and that's when Phelan had caught the ball.
wow. Well, on a better note, though, you called Boz before a game to talk a little trash on Highsmith. What y'all tell him?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, you and Highsmith called Boz before a game when y'all were playing Oklahoma. You know, a lot of people think Bo Jackson is the only one that can talk a little trash to Boz. What y'all tell him when y'all called him?
No, what I did was we was at the hotel the night before the game, and they
Yeah,
got this dude with his hair, pink hair, all these stripes, all this kind of stuff here. And I'm sitting there like we pissed off. So we go to the team hotel the night before, and they got Bosworth not on the front page of the sports, on the front page of the Miami Herald. So I'm
uh-oh.
looking at this paper. I'm like, dude, who is this dude, man? They bringing all this crap like that. So what I did was, so that night, we go back to the room. So Lonzo was my roommate. So I couldn't sleep. The game's at 12 noon. So I'm laying there. I said, man, I'm gonna call his ass and wake his ass up, man. I said, because he in my city, whatever, so and so like that. And he on the front page of our deal. So I called in the article, it said where they were staying at the Fontainebleau Hotel. So I got the number to the Fontainebleau, called him. So early that morning, like 6 in the morning, it was like five something, really about five.
Yeah,
And I called him and they called the hotel. The girl said, I said, put Brian MF and Bosworth on his phone, and she said, well, the lines are blocked until 6 a.m. I said, let me leave you a message. I said, tell him Melvin MF Bratton and Alonzo MF Highsmith giving him a wake up call to kick his ass at high noon in the Orange Bowl. We ready to run. We're gonna kick his ass high noon. She say, Melvin Bratton, and she say, I know you. You went to school with me. She said, hold on. I don't like his ass anyway, like that. I don't like his ass anyway. Yeah. So I was like, wow. So she punched it through. So Bob's roommate answered the phone. He said, hello. I said, man, put Brian Bosworth. So mind you, when I look up, I'm talking and trying to get to him. Lonzo done jumped up. He breaking lamps and busting windows. And I'm like, I mean, in the hotel, he throwing stuff. I'm like, dude, what the hell you? I look back like this bug done lost. He done snapped. So Boz get on the phone. He said, hello. I say, Boz. I said, this is Melvin MF Bratton and Lonzo effing Highsmith. I said, we give you a wake-up call to kick your ass at high noon. You in my city. I said, you on the front of our paper. It's disrespectful. We're going to kick your so. So he said, man, Mel, I'm glad you woke me up, man. But dude, why so early? So I had to catch myself. I almost bust out laughing. And then I hung the phone up. So now we go in the hallway, we wake up the whole entire team. Jimmy and them
Wow.
on another floor. We in there, we woke the whole team up. So Jerome Brown knows said, give me the number. So Jamel Holloway was a quarterback
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Troy had transferred to y'all, and
yeah, yeah.
so Jamel was starting quarterback. So they called Jamel and woke Jamel up, and Jamel with that squeaky voice, you know, saying, "Man, why not me?" And so they started singing the song "Warriors Come Out and Play." And they changed it. They said Jamel, come out and play. Darryl Fullerton. I mean, the whole starting 11 defense guys was in there, all 11. And bro, they was so crunk up in there, bro. It was crazy, crazy, crazy.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back because I really want to hear about some of the things. This is awesome. We'll be right back on Chopping It Up with Buck.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Mel Bratton. I'm kicking with my boy Chuck, man. Listen, man, I've known this dude for 100 years, man. He's always been the same, man. I'm so proud of you, bro, doing your thing. Let's keep the grind on, man. I'll see you on the major stage real soon. But this podcast right here, I'm excited for us being part of, man. Love you, bro. Keep doing your thing.
Well, you brought me back to Hubbard Alexander. I got to talk a little bit about him. Hubbard Alexander is the reason why I thought about coming to y'all for the first reason. He and Jimmy came to my house, and then I saw y'all play Rice. So I was a Miami fan, and Hubbard Alexander was always one of my favorite guys, man. I sure hated when he's gone way too soon, but a great, great man. And one of the reasons I was so good because he was such a hell of a recruiter too.
Yes, he was. He's my guy, man. I love that dude, and it went for him for me to change that like that. So, okay, yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, he really changed my life, man. I mean, he came in the city and he basically, said, listen, man, we need you, saying, as far as a culture, because they had read the article after me and I was talking about, saying like that. And he got wind that we wanted to stay home and change the culture. And sure enough, boom, he called. He was so happy like that. And Howard Snellenberger was happy that that class really changed Miami football, changed the whole culture because guys wasn't staying home. Everybody was leaving because they were so sorry and to the point. But we had a vision of changing that whole culture of football in South Florida to keep everybody home because we kept losing guys. Like now, look at, you got Patrick Surtain and all these guys leaving, Miami and going to these schools and making these other programs rich. If we kept all these kids home, we would have ran the table for almost about, like USC back in the days, So,
yeah.
But it has its time in essence, and I think Mario and Balonzo going back to school, coming back to Miami. He's a general manager. He's evaluating the talent on another level, and he's really doing a great job. And Mario is doing a great job as well. So we got the right guys. I know we had a coaching changes 1 year and then a whole new staff like that, but we got to get the right guys in there. So the talent is starting to come, and the guys are starting to come, and they feel like Miami is cool again.
My other question for you, man, is meeting you. You guys were coming out. You and Keith Jackson. I don't think Highsmith, but you and Keith came out to L.A. Y'all came out to work out with us. A lot of guys would come to L.A. to work out. So that's how we got to know each other. James Washington and all those guys that were a little
J-Dub, that's my guy. Oh, I love it. I was just with him last year at the Super Bowl in L.A. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah. So tell me about that. I mean, the experience, the highs of it, because you were supposed to be a first-round draft pick. It didn't work out that way. And then you went in the draft, got drafted, and then re-entered the draft to get drafted again.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know that story that I got drafted twice. What happened was I had a Lloyd's in London policy for $1 million back then, tax-free. So I could have, back then, the base salaries was like $75,000. So I could have, took that money, like $125,000 signing bonus at 75. You do the math, you know what I'm saying? That's $200K. Back then, yeah, it's been a decent living, but not a great living. Mm-hmm. And I had $1 million sitting over here to the right. So what I did was I negotiated. That's what made me get into the agency game. I negotiated a contract. Robert Fraley was my agent at the time. God bless his dead. He got killed in a plane crash with Payne Stewart back then, the golfer. Yeah, that was Robert's plane. So Robert had Jerome and Alonzo and Winston Moss the year before, and then got me and Talbot Bain the next year. But Robert sat there, and I was strategizing with a hurt knee, how let's invite back then. We didn't have the proper turf, the field turf they plan on now. We had the street, and they just rolled the stuff on top. So what I did was I told him, I said, let's invite the teams to grass fields. There's only like six teams. So I said, let's have a private workout, and then we'll name our price, whatever like that. So I ended up holding out, and I told the Dolphins to go to hell. Don Shula called me personally, told me to shut the hell up and stay at the media, and so, but that's when my negotiation skills started, kind of going. And then when Robert Fraley, the top agent at the time, said, if you stop playing football, don't you ever be an agent because you'll put me out of business. You can't tell a local inner city black kid, like, saying I got that kind of skill set. So when he said that, I said, hold on. So I went and made business cards when I was playing for the Broncos for those 2 years. I gave John Elway a card, Kubiak a card, Atwater card, Bobby Humphrey, all of them. I said, look, man, I'm going to do your next deal for the Lolo, like that. So they were laughing, but I was dead serious. As far as my vision, I wanted to take that field and go to the next level. And then I was blessed, here just 20 plus years later, I'm in the seat right now.
Well, before you got into the agency business, you were also a scout. You did some stuff in the front office. Tell us how that helped you also with the agency piece, because most of us, man, if you play this game and you really study the game, you know people, you know how players look. But what did the front office or scouting help you with?
Well, just the understanding, the only position that I really didn't understand, and your position in the line, because you guys had to be smarter than everybody else because you had to know the run scheme and also the passing game. So people understand tight ends will make better head coaches, special offensive coordinators, because y'all can see the game from two different angles. So I didn't understand like offensive line. I could tell you about a skill guy and evaluate him. But what I did was I asked Art Shell when I first got hired by Dan Reeves. I called Dan Reeves and said, listen, I've been recruiting these guys. I want to get on the other side of the fence and be able to help build a team. Because I feel like, I got a keen eye to talent. Because coming from my high school, Miami Northwestern, coming to the U, I was very hard on guys because they put me in the Northwest. I lived in Seattle. I would go to like Stanford, Cal, and all of them. I would reject like Oregon State. I rejected everybody because I'm looking at these guys saying they could have been on the third team for us. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So, and my boss at the time, Reed Johnson, he said, Mel, he called me. He says, I see you submitting all these rejects. He said, remember one thing, these kids, all of them can't play at Miami. You can't evaluate them on the talent you've seen every day. These kids going to be in the league somewhere. So I had to soften my eye because I was cut dry. It wasn't no, he could be fifth round to a 4 or whatever, 3. No, free agent or first rounder. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I, saw. But I had to kind of tone it down a little bit. And then Art Shell, I went and sat in his meetings because I didn't understand rolling ass to the point of attack, second level, all the little technology, the terminology that you guys learn. I didn't know that, So, because I was never an inside guy. So I sat in the rooms with him and heard, as far as his steps, zone reads and all the different stuff. I taught myself the internal side. So once I got that, I was able to evaluate. And that people think that money in this agent game is the answer to go put down papers on guys and show who got the biggest bag. Some kids, yes, but they're going to be out the league in 3 to 5 years. But the ones that listen, I now look at guys, if they drinking Hennessy out the bottle, they ain't like us back in the day. We could party and still go get our work in. But they drinking Hen out the bottle right now, I don't want to touch them and smoking and blowing because he ain't going to see a second contract. So I walk away now because we done been there. I done been there. I know. I can look at a kid and look at his lips and see how, I said, man, this kid here blowing every day. He going to have a problem. We going to struggle. So I'm sharp now. I can see that. And I walk away all money and good money. So it's just that whole entire process, as far as us being around, seeing y'all from the West Coast, watching y'all. We had a lot of respect for you and Reds and Gaston. I became very close to him when he came to Broncos. He took Bobby Humphrey's spot, and I was blocking for him. So just that whole deal, watching talent from the West Coast and the East Coast, y'all guys, like I said, it was all love.
Y'all didn't give a lot of teams love, but I guess since UCLA beat up before I got there.
J-Dub give me he talks so much noise about that right now.
Best story ever was when he got on y'all's bus and wanted to fight. So look, you know who was the first person that wanted to fight me? J-Dub. That's why.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah, the first day of practice, he's trying to go at me like I'm from Watts. I said, man, I'm from Houston. I'll kick your butt. I mean,
Right. Wow.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We'll be right back on Chopping It Up with Buck.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Join us each week and a new celebrity guest on Chopping It Up with Buck. Brought to you by Thin Energy, thinenergy.com.
Well, I know I'm gonna let you out of here because I know you're busy, but I got a couple more things. Greatest story never told. You know, we're storytellers by nature, but what is the greatest story you've never told that you can share with us?
The greatest story, I always want to be a stripper. No, just joking. No, you know I ain't got no sense, but
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do this live next time too, but I
yeah,
mean,
let's go live. Yeah, let's go live because I ain't got no sense. The greatest story, man. I don't know. I just you know what? I always, I don't beat myself on it. I always had the what if I didn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? What if I didn't get hurt? Because I was projected top 5 pick. Actually, Tampa was going to take me at the 4th pick of that draft. I had started. People don't know I had started negotiating with my agent Robert Fraley with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before the game. If you go back, I got on Good Morning America with Brian Gumble at 6 in that morning, and they had Dante. I forgot the linebacker. Dante was the top linebacker. He had on a sweatsuit. I came with a suit. So Brian Gumble looking like, he said, Mel B, I mean, you know what, man, you pretty sharp. It's early in the morning. You know what? I said, you know what, Brian? I said, after this game is all about business. I said, if you're going for a job interview, you got to be dressed for business. I had on tie, suit, and booted, a full suit. And Dante had on a sweatsuit. So my psychology, I always thought, saying business wise, I always was a forward thinker. And I just, like I said, I always wondered. Mike Irvin was in Atlanta where I live right now, and he was doing a show here years ago. My sister had called me. She said, my middle name was Terrence. She said, Terrence, Mike Irvin is giving you mad props. I said, huh? She said, yes. They asked Mike on a TV station here, said, who is the best player that you ever played with in your history of football? And he's retired. He said, y'all didn't get a chance to see him, but the person was Mel Bratton. If Mel Bratton would have made it, whatever, so say y'all have seen something special. What Barry Sanders and all these guys doing, he could run, catch, block, he did it all. He said, y'all didn't get a chance. Y'all was pulled away from that. Is that guy? You know what I'm saying? So
I went to high school. Thurman was older than me, but I told people you reminded me a lot of Thurman, only a little bit bigger. Thurman wasn't big as tall. He was, built. But the thing that I remember is catching the ball out of the backfield, being able to block, just running routes like a tight end or a receiver, whatever you needed to do. I mean, that's when we worked out. I mean, I'll be honest with you and tell you. I told you then, but I'll tell you now. You showed me some things even then on the passing game, you and Keith, about how to set people up, what shoulder to work on, where to, how to get guys moving so you could get open spaces using the basketball skills that I have, but using it from that perspective. So I agree with Mike. I mean, I cried for you when you got hurt, but I'm
appreciate it
with all the things you've been able to do, because so many guys that we know, whether from home or whether in college, when they don't get that opportunity, it just kind of stops them.
Fall off, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do a 2-minute drill. I ask a couple of quick questions, answer rapid fire. First thing come to mind. I know you one of them you already want to be a stripper, so I ain't gonna ask you that one. These are for blank and why?
Say it again.
Sundays are for blank and why?
Football and drinking cold beer when I was drinking. So that's what it's made for. No other day. Well, church first. Let's get Lord, all of God praises first. Let's do church first. Then afterwards, to go post up and eat wings with the homies and watch the games or at somebody's house with the grill all Sundays. Football is year round, like it is, but it's hard to watch this XFL and all this other stuff like that. I got a couple of kids playing in it, but it's like watching, what I'm saying, the Tecmo Bowl back in the days when you used to tap on that little metal thing.
Well, in the AAF, we played some pretty good football, but we only got 8 weeks, so I can't help
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Hey, what's your favorite movie ever?
Actually, you know what? Life. I like Life. I sit there and watch Life, what I'm
You go
saying, right now. Yeah, you want your cornbread? Yeah. So actually, Life is one of my favorite movies. And actually, I just went and seen Air with the Michael Jordan movie the other day, and man, I was impressed with that. That they did a real good job.
Who would play you in a movie of your life?
See, Denzel don't have that personality. You know what I'm saying? I need a fool. I need a fool like Chris Tucker or Chris Rock or somebody like that. Because I was a prankster on the team, and real quick, there's a lady named Janet Reno. She's a general attorney down there. She was a child support person that gave guys time, and when they get in front of them, they ain't pay their child support. She would ask, "How much money you got in pocket?" 30 cents. Okay, give you 30 months. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So she was really, really tough. And Luke Ray made a record about Janet Reno going to town. It was one of the rappers made a record about it.
Yeah.
So what I did was I had a friend girl that works in her office. So she gave me the letterhead of Janet Reno, and I had it typed where all the guys I knew had kids on our team. I had put in the locker room that you got to report to court, whatever like that. So, man, and I'm sitting back laughing, watching, man, damn, dog, man, so, man, January, man, I'm finna go to jail. So guys sweating the whole deal. So somebody went to Jimmy Johnson and say, man, these letters, whatever like that. He said, Jimmy knew it, said that damn Melvin, tell him bring his ass up here. So, yeah, so I kept more stuff going on as far as, you know what I'm saying, pranks and stuff like that. I'm the king of pranks.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Actually, I'm flying to back to Dubai, and then I'm going to Namibia, Africa, right after the draft for a week. And I love Dubai, you know what I'm saying, like that. I don't know. I mean, business wise and far as that, Dubai, but in the U.S., that's a hard one. I done did Miami. I'm in Atlanta, so I've lived in Seattle. I lived in Denver. I live, so I just know what Houston. Actually, you know what, H-Town.
Okay.
I will go to H-Town because y'all got the most prettiest women and they ain't stuck up. You know what I'm saying? We used to come to D's and G's and Rhinestone Wrangler back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So
hey back, man.
yeah, dog, listen to Benny Hanna's on Bennigan's on 610. Dog, y'all had a rapper was so fine named Choice, boy. I never forget Choice, dog. Choice, woo, Lord, she was so fine.
They didn't take you around the corner to Carrington's over there too.
I done been in all them holes, but potholes. But the one that the song that always remind me of Houston, and I came to town, they broke it that weekend, and I brought it back to Atlanta. Wanna be a baller? I call her 24/8 on an Impala. Troy, what are they? Not Pastor Troy. Lil Troy. Bro, right then, that song right there. I brought it back to Atlanta. I think I broke that song in Atlanta, real talk.
I'm telling you, man. Well, you scored a touchdown on that one. You got to score for the boy. I scored the Oilers hat. Then if you're gonna talk about H-Town.
I'm serious. I love H-Town. See, that's why somebody told me today. My best friend Talbot Bain said, "Dog, I know you want him to go to Carolina, but boy, we get to H-Town. It's back on from back in the days like that. Because when Hospital got drafted by the Oilers, we lived in H-Town. Oh Lord." And I'm glad I don't have no babies running around H-Town right now, too. So thank you, Jesus.
Well, man, it's been good having you on. We're going to do this again soon, man. Thanks for coming on, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, fam. Love, man. Appreciate it, man. Good luck, man.